Hi friends, Shae here. So today I am here for your manga minute for the months of May and June. This is the first time I've done this segment on this channel, so I'm going to quickly tell you a little bit about how it works and then we'll dive into it. So essentially what I do is I tell you something that's released in that period of time, any licensing announcements that we've seen, and then I do one recommendation from a backlist title that's a complete series, hopefully, or close to finishing, so that if you want something that's done and you don't have to wait a long period of time in between volumes, you have some recommendations. So this is for May and for June, so this one will be a little more packed than normal. I have tried to condense it down as much as I can, so I hope it's still clear and concise for all of you. By the way, I'm Shae, my channel is Shae Geeks Out. I do primarily talk about manga and romance books, but in manga I do read a little bit of everything, so there should be recommendations in here for everybody no matter what you read. With that, let's go. So let's talk about some things that came out in May and June. So I've got a couple here that I'm going to tell you about that I think are some of the top things that came out in those couple of months. The first one is The Tale of the Outcasts. This one's by Makoto Hoshino, and in this one we have this young woman named Wisteria. Her brother and her were orphans. They were taken in at this church, and her brother was gone one day. She didn't really understand why, and the priest in charge of her hasn't treated her very well. She was begging on the streets one day, and this demon named Maribus? Yeah, Marbus notices her, and she sees him, and normally he's invisible to the humans, and so he's intrigued by her, and so he goes and meets with her at night, and they tell each other stories, and then he finds out that she's going to be sold off to whoever wants her, and he could make a deal with her, but he doesn't want to do that because he cares about her. But he decides to try to save her anyway, so his body starts to fall apart, and she offers him her eyes as payment and as a deal, and he says, "You've got a deal." And so now it's kind of this caregiver kind of thing where he looks out for her because she gave him his eyes, and they just have this really great found family kind of relationship now. It's fantastic. If you like things like The Ancient Magus Bride or Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, this is going to be your kind of story. It's really good, set in London. We do run into her brother within this first volume, so you will find out what happened to him, and it's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend, one of my favorites that came out. Next up is one for kind of the general population, and that is Kirby Manga Mania. So this is a series in which you're just kind of going on adventures with Kirby from the Nintendo franchise. And this was really fun and really sweet and really cute. If you're new to manga and haven't tried any manga, but you know you love Kirby, this is a great place to start. It was really easy to get into, really easy to read, so I would recommend trying this one out. Now, for my diehard manga people, or people who just love blood, guts, and gore, we have Fist of the North Star. We had the anime for a long time, but Viz is publishing it in these beautiful hardback, amazing editions. And in this one, we are following... this is a post-apocalyptic world, and we're following one particular warrior named Ken, who's basically invincible, and he's going around kind of as a vigilante trying to save everybody and bring justice to people who deserve it, and it was really good. It's not my personal taste, but honestly, it was really well done. The art is absolutely fantastic in this one. Let's see, can I show you a panel without getting flagged? Yeah. So the art is amazing. There's a little bit of color in the front, but it's mostly black and white in traditional manga style. So if that's more your kind of story and your kind of jam, I would highly recommend picking this one up. This is a longtime classic and favorite in the manga genre. Well, manga space, I should say. It's not really a genre. All right, from there, let's move on to licensing announcements. There were so many over May and June. I'm going to talk about a few titles that were standouts to me, but I will leave links to all of the licensing events, so if you want a full list of everything that was mentioned, that will all be linked down below. Kodansha usually does theirs in video format anymore, which is really handy for me, but I usually use Twitter threads for all this kind of information directly from the publisher. So for May, we have 7 Seas. There's a couple from them that I think people will be interested in. First up, we have the case files of Jeweler Richard. This is one that was highly recommended to 7 Seas to publish from their survey that they send out to people who shop for them. And this one looks really, really interesting and really, really cool. Very, very excited that this one's coming to us. And then we have Cat Massage Therapy, which just looks so pure and adorable. Like, give me all of it. But then again, I'm very much a cat person and an animal person. But this just looks like you're gonna get lots of toe beans and cats being cute. Next up, we have The Country Without Humans. From what I'm gathering of this story, we have a human girl who's on this planet and she's the only human. And it's about her kind of trying to figure things out. It looks amazing. Like I say, I don't know too much. I try to keep myself free of spoilers and things when I'm talking about new series. But again, in the links, you will find more detailed information. Yen Press in May is giving us Namaiki Zakari. And this is a new shoujo title. Looks like a really sweet high school romance. I do like those kinds of stories, which is why I put this one in here. But Yen Press also had a lot of amazing things that they have coming out. So again, check your lists down below. And then some June events. Kodansha is giving us a bunch of new things for 7 Deadly Sins and whatnot. The one I'm particularly excited about from that announcement was A Galaxy Next Door. This is from the same mangaka that did Sweetness and Lightning, which was a widower man and his daughter learning how to cook. In this one, it has very much Mary Poppins kinds of vibes, where a nanny comes to help things. Like, it feels very much like a manga Mary Poppins, and I'm sold on it. Like, it looks so, so good. And the art from this mangaka is absolutely amazing, so I'm very, very excited. From Seven Seas again, we have My Brain is Different. So this is one that's going to look into stories of people with like ADHD and other various mental illnesses, and it's kind of a short story collection, I believe, of people with various mental illnesses. So I think this one's going to be very important, which is why I wanted to put it on your radar so that you know about it. One more from Seven Seas in June was I'm a Wolf, but My Boss is a Sheep. And this one just looks like a grown-up office romance where they're animalistic. You know, where they're animorphs or whatever you want to think of them as. This looks amazingly cute, a little bit bonkers, but I'm here for it. Last but not least for June, from the Yen Press event, we have Spy Classroom. I thought this one would stand out to a lot of people. It looks kind of like Assassination Classroom, but not the same kind of plot. But yes, Spy Classroom. So I don't know if it's a spy teacher. Again, I don't know all the details, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so from there, I'm going to give you a backlist title recommendation real fast. And for that, that's going to be Silver Spoon. Silver Spoon is by Himuro Arakawa, who is the mangaka who also does Full Metal Alchemist. I would also recommend Full Metal Alchemist. If you haven't tried it, you can try the anime or the manga, and you're going to be happy. In Silver Spoon, this is kind of like their passion project, I guess you could say. Himuro Arakawa grew up in the farming and agriculture community, and so this is kind of a manga to represent that. So this young man on the cover, his name is Haichi, or Haichikin, and he got stressed out in normal school. His parents had certain expectations, and he wasn't down with that. So he decides to enroll in an agricultural high school, even though he doesn't necessarily have any agricultural aspirations. So as he gets to know his classmates, he gets to know the world of agriculture. It is very detailed and on page. So if you are vegan or sensitive to any sort of killing of animals, just humanely or not, this might not be the series for you, but it goes very detailed into the agriculture of Japan and how they do and process everything. So it was very educational. I thought it was an amazing piece and very well done. So I would recommend checking it out at least, but if you are sensitive to those kinds of things, this might not be the series for you. But either way, I think it's very important and I want more people to read it because it's fantastic. It is 15 volumes long, but it is complete. And so you don't have to wait at all. You can read through the whole thing, and I highly recommend you do. All right, with that said, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to condense it as much as I could. But again, check the links down below if you're interested in other licenses that came out, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.